44% with Destiny. 44% with Destiny, mother. 44%. Come on. 44%. What does that say about Hasan? Come on, dude. Hasan is a big, huge Destiny fan. Are you kidding me? H3 only has 22%. Hasan has 44% of his community overlapping with Destiny. He's a huge Destiny fan, dude. How can you deny this? How can you deny this? This is a massive Destiny fan, bro. Everything said in this video simply is an opinion. This video is for educational purposes only. I am not associated with Ethan Klein or H3, and everything said in this video is speculation based on my own observations. Oh boy. What is this? This is some leftist mad about the Hasan nuke. This is called Ethan Klein's Hasan nuke. Or sorry, yeah, Ethan Klein's content nuke on Hasan Piker backfired beautifully. By North Star Radio. Oh, brother. Here we go.
I've never in my entire career been against such a dishonest, like hateful, persistently, like they're dirty. They don't care. They'll outwardly lie. This is an ongoing, like, joke with this community. These are just benign dudes. Just, I don't know what the they're doing. It looks like they're doing charity or something. It looks like they've got water or boxes or something, like they're helping. This is what it is online. Hasan's community are the most psychotic people on the internet. He's a liar, dude. I hate to say it, but I do think it's related. I mean, it's kind of like
Weasley little liar, dude.
The way that they'll just lie.
That looked like, I don't know, that he's a fucking liar, dude. That looked like he was doing an impression of Hasan there.
And say anything to frame anyone for anything. It had just been discovered around the same time as this Arab tier list that Twitch had secretly, without announcing it anywhere, banned the entire country of Israel from creating new accounts.
They're just like...
Wait, what? Wait, what? The emails accused Twitch of suspending all Israeli accounts for a year, a claim the company debunked in a recent post on X. Wait, no, they did not. What the fuck? They did not. What? While Twitch temporarily suspended email verification of new accounts in Israel and Palestine over concerns of live-streamed violence, the company said it received 100,000 mobile verified signups from Israel over the past 12 months and saw a 95% increase in hours watched in the region. We already had evidence that that's not true. We already have evidence that that is not true. Am I fucking crazy here? Am I taking crazy pills? Did we not get like a ton of proof from mobile phones that they were not able to sign up? Did we not already get this? Am I wrong? Even if this is true, they are still saying that, yes, they still banned people from doing shit on computers then. So you're just saying that, like, oh, well, they were able to do it on mobile phones. This is incorrect. That's not incorrect when they were still not able to do it from computers. I don't understand why they would even do this. Why even try to claim this? I could have sworn Dan proves that, but I maybe I'm wrong. Let's double check this real quick. All right. For the other parts, this had readers added context they thought people might want to know, and it added both email registration and phone registration were blocked. Now, this is a bit different than what they initially had. Okay, so this was the initial readers added context. It said the ban was based on IP addresses, not email addresses, which in most cases cannot be geolocated based on the address only. Signup was impossible even when using a phone number. This was the original readers added context message that was added on the Twitter post by Twitch, but now it's just both email registration and phone registration were blocked, which means, according to everybody, Twitch is just lying that they weren't allowing anybody to go through. So this was the other video that was posted. This was posted by Dan Can't Stream, and he goes and makes a username, Zion Loves Sabra, and creates an account, he is signing up through a phone. But when he does it, he gets an error message that says that it's banned due to location. So then he does it again, and it again says blocked country IP. And then here we have the Times of Israel. This is translated for me, but the title of the article says, Israelis boycotted anti-Semites return. Streaming platform stirs controversy. So they posted this before Twitch posted their Twitter post. It says, the first incident is fresh from today, Sunday. Israeli users who tried to register on the platform reported receiving an error message when registering via email, or simply no response if they tried to register via phone number with an Israeli prefix. From our testing, it is indeed not possible to register with an Israeli IP address or phone number, but registering via other countries works fine. So they are saying that they did test it themselves. Then they did come back and update this here with Twitch's post on Twitter afterwards. And it says right here at the bottom, after it copies the post, it says, register with phone verification. It did not work from all devices. We tried. RK. And RK is the name of the author.
Wowie wow wow wow. So Dan showed that he wasn't able to sign up with email nor phone verification, and that the website code says he was blocked based on the country that he was in. Weird. That's the opposite of what Twitch said in their post on Twitter. And then a journalist from Israel also said they tried signing up using phone and email verification, and that neither one worked. Well, I suppose none of that matters to this leftist, because both of them are Jewish. Can't believe them. Am I right, guys? I mean, guys?
Decided I don't want to be associated because I'm Israeli. When we talk about how serious the rise in anti-Semitism, this is why it's scary for us. It's now so casual to just not want to associate with an Israeli just because I was born there. And this is the result of Hasan's type of activism. This is the result of this activism that this is the result of Hasan's activism. This is what it resounds to. This is the fault of people like Hasan. Zero progress for people in Gaza.
Last week, Hila Klein released the long-awaited content nuke on Hasan Piker, his magnum opus, 2 months in the making, designed to end the career of Hasan Piker and anyone else in his political Twitch streaming orbit. Well, not anyone. Mostly just Arabs and Arab women in particular. This video, from a metric standpoint, was a success. I mean, the H3 podcast hasn't hit 1 million views in 3 months, the last 1 million view video being entirely about Hasan. Ethan seemed to notice this trend and decided to go all out on a 2-hour crash-out content nuke to get it all off his chest. Or so we hoped, as the last 3 episodes of the H3 podcast have also been entirely about Hasan Piker. And in those 3 episodes, Ethan has really dug his own grave, showing us all that he truly is a shell of his former self.
Someone who has any sort of kindness in their heart.
I'm unkind now.
Wait, what is he talking
I'm a
about?
meanie head. He says, you have to be a total meanie head to make that video he made about me, which I haven't watched. Did you just call me a meanie head?
What? We're talking about kindness?
Yeah, are we doing... What?
We're way past that, Hasan. We hate you.
Yeah, no, it's...
Did you not get the memo?
I mean, what's kind about telling survivors that they're lying?
I'm currently working on a video going point by point through the content nuke and debunking the obviously incorrect claims. But today, I just want to take a quick look.
So, like, Hasan, we've been over this a couple of times, that Hasan did initially deny the rapes of a bunch of different women, but eventually came back and, like, kind of corrected that, like, there are some women that he was saying, like, yes, I agree, they've made these claims that they were raped, and I don't disagree with that. There's other women that a lot of people are speculating were raped, but there's no, like, evidence there. They never claimed that they were raped, and so I'm denying that that's the case there, but I'm not denying that, like, any women were ever raped in any of these scenarios. So
look at the fallout of this nuke. Because Hasan is still averaging 40,000 live viewers, Ethan is still widely hated by the internet, and Hila Klein is losing business partnerships. The content nuke aimed for Hasan has backfired in an incredibly satisfying manner. Today's broadcast is brought to you by viewers like you. Become a member today and unlock exclusive content at patreon.com/NorthstarRadio. On the first episode back, Ethan basically himself off reacting to his own video.
Oh, you missed it? Let me go back.
Oh yeah, we gotta see that.
I was doing some high level here, Dan. I had to do a tutorial for this part. On this part.
Flag in the middle of campus, carried it to a mob by the gate that were communicating with the angry mobs outside of campus.
Untrained, inbred asses shipped into southern Lebanon, telling us that we are all inbred and that we have no culture.
Oh, again.
I believe it was a some kind of block swipe.
Yeah, block.
Yeah.
Very good.
And this is where Ethan's cognitive state comes into question, because this dude is so clearly not doing okay. While reacting to Hasan's response to the content nuke, Ethan claims that he's never tried to be a comedian.
Very intelligent. Definitely not a hack-ass, failed-ass, dumbass comedian.
Bro, I've never tried to be a comedian, a failed comedian. What are you talking about? It's not even a sore spot for me or anything, because I'm not a comedian. I've never tried to be a professional comedian.
This is despite Ethan calling himself a professional comedian over a dozen times throughout his career.
I'm a comedian. That's my job. I'm a comedian, right? I'm trying to make a joke. I know it looks crazy. I'm a comedian, and people are laughing. Unlike you, I'm a comedian, not a journalist, so I have a little more leeway. I'm a comedian.
Wait, if you're saying that he's a comedian in the sense of like his YouTube channel, which is what he's saying, I don't know, maybe if Hasan was calling him a failed comedian in terms of his YouTube channel, then that just doesn't make sense at all. It sounded like he was saying like in terms of like being like a stand-up comedian or some shit like that.
Comedian, you know what I mean? I criticize people. I'm a comedian. First of all, I'm a comedian, so anything I say being considered defamation is almost like impossible. I had an idea, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I'm a comedian, you know, I'm out here, I'm in different lanes. I'm a professional comedian. Are any of them? I'm a professional comedian, you know what I mean? I'm the last line of defense, okay? I'm a professional comedian. Do you know that?
You know you're winning the debate when you start bringing up theories about Hasan's dog Kaya or who cooks him food off camera.
Comedian, in air quotes. Still.
Ooh!
I didn't even hear what you said.
Not funny.
Air quotes.
Not funny. It's just like you're a socialist. By the way, theory time, and I'm pretty sure I'm right. Hasan says he adopted his dog. He went all over LA looking for the perfect dog. Oh, I went to all of these pounds. I couldn't find the perfect dog. But then magically, off camera, I found on Craigslist this post where they were giving away $20,000 designer dogs. And I was so lucky. Hasan Piker, can anybody find me a Craigslist post where they're giving away $20,000 designer dogs? Because I'd like to inquire. He bought that dog, and he doesn't want to admit it, obviously. And by the way,
I don't know.
That's not the only lie he tells about his personal life. I did a story about it, but people didn't pick it up. I don't give a f. This guy's a piece of shit. People need to ask Hasan who's cooking his chicken off screen. Who's cooking that chicken? Who's taking care of him? There's something he goes, don't tell anyone though, for obvious reasons. Somebody's cooking his chicken, and they don't look like they're getting a piece of the pie either. You know what I mean? They're not on that socialist. They're not on that socialized workplace salary. You know what I mean? Cooking chicken's a big deal. That's integral to his daily routine. Of course she's entitled to a % of his profits. Duh.
Well,
Socialism,
my goodness,
bro.
dude.
Live it, bro.
This is, I don't know, this is funny. Like, I think this is just a meme, so. But yeah, this is, I don't know, this is funny. Like, him talking about, like, who's cooking his food and shit, whether or not they're getting, you know, whether or not they own the means of production. And I don't know, this was funny. Like, obviously, I think the attack on the dog is, like, it's like a serious thing, but I think the fact that, like, I think it's meant to be, like, a meme, but it is, like, I think he's being serious about the dog, but that it's funny that, like, you know, this is something that Hasan would do, and that it's not really meant to be like this like life-destroying attack on him. But this guy's like, yeah, this is sad when you have to start talking about their dog and who cooks them chicken in order to try to get at them. You know that you're really flopping at that point.
Live it. Be the socialist you say you are.
Oh, wait, hold on. This is a dumb gotcha. Failure to provide meal and rest period, failure to pay overtime, failure to pay state and local minimum wage, failure to pay all wages due. Okay. He's using this because somebody was cooking him meals and that he didn't they weren't on that socialist. He's not a fucking socialist. So it's not the same thing. That like he admits that he has a nanny, that he has a fucking that he has like house cleaners and cooks and shit like this. Like he admits all of this. He talks about it. But Hasan tries to downplay his lifestyle all the time. And even when he like got in trouble for like everybody flipped out about the fact that he had a $3 million house, he just kept saying over and over, dude, I drive a Toyota Camry, bro. I drive a Toyota Camry. And then it turns out the Toyota Camry is like one of 3 cars. And then the other 2 are like these fucking massive bullet cars that are like really expensive, nice cars, like fucking Corvettes and shit. It's like, all right, bro, like, come on, quit with the fucking Toyota bullshit. Give me a break. So yeah, this is dumb. This is so dumb. He's like Ethan's doing like a gotcha on like hypocrisy for a socialist. He's not a socialist. Ethan's not a socialist. Like this doesn't work.
I think this is an important time to mention that it's well-known lore that Ethan was neglected as a child and was often sent to school with 0 food to eat and 0 lunch money.
My parents didn't take care of me as a kid. When they cooked, which was rare, it was just awful. I didn't eat. I would starve. It was that bad. I used to go to school. My parents wouldn't give me money, and they didn't make me a lunch. I would just starve. I would beg for food from my friends. Straight up, I would beg for food from my friends. I was a
fair enough.
Homeless child.
Ethan can't even fathom the idea of a loving parent.
His whole shtick for the past year has been saying liberal Zionist talking points and then getting...
Ethan can't even fathom the idea of a loving parent? What the fuck? This is bullshit, man. Hasan lives a basic necessities lifestyle, and also streaming is rough as fuck on the old social batteries too. Not like normal jobs. Yeah, true. True. My bad. You're right. Like, this is the thing, is that like in reality, like nobody thinks that it's like a horrible thing for him to live in a $3 million house. But like the criticism was like, he seems to really hate like elites and talk a lot of shit about elites and talk a lot of shit about like people having too much money, CEOs, like shit like that. But then he goes and buys a $3 million mansion, right? Like that's just kind of says like, okay, dude, you're like insanely well off. You have a lot of employees. And the idea through socialism is that like, yeah, like they're all supposed to be making a similar amount, that they should all own the means of production and have like big chunks of what it is that they're making. But then it turns out that he didn't even pay some of his editors, and that for one of them, the guy had never gotten paid for a video, and Hasan bought him a computer and then said, by buying him the computer, I gave him the way, his ability to own the means of production. It was like, what? That's not what that means, bro. You don't even know what that means. And so, yes, but everybody turned around and they're like, oh, house, socialism means no house. Oh, we forgot, if you're a socialist, you're not allowed to live in a house. Oh man, socialism means no house. Damn, we didn't know. Socialism means no house. Like, that's all you heard over and over and over. It was just the straw man of the argument, where they think that like people are saying that you're not allowed to have a house if you're a socialist. That was never the argument. Nobody ever said this, but that's the direction that they took it in. It's just socialism means no house. And so yeah, this is kind of the point, is that yes, like people always straw man the accusations and then argue against them in the most bad faith way fucking possible, where it's obvious you just don't understand the criticisms. You just don't get it. This guy just does not understand the criticisms here.
Parent.
His whole shtick for the past year has been saying liberal Zionist talking points and then getting mad at everyone when they go, "Are you a Zionist?"
What liberal... Bro, the fantasy world that they've built is incredible. What is a liberal Zionist talking point?
Ethan did so much research for this video, but has yet to understand what a liberal Zionist talking point is. Here are just a few examples.
People who would like to criticize the army in Israel need to understand that it's a daily threat, that something needs to happen about it. It's not like we have a choice.
When you talk about privilege, let's talk about someone who's going to UC Berkeley, paid by their parents $200,000 tuition, on campus protesting Israel. Do you find that ironic?
I personally think it's so ironic. I don't know, it's kids sitting here in like beautiful California criticizing, like, you don't even know what you're talking about.
What you hear is people criticizing national security and calling Israel like apartheid, and that they shouldn't have fences, or that Israel should be a one state with Palestinians and Israel's all living together. They should reduce the borders and remove the gate. That to me seems like super ignorant.
It is, because when I grew up, I couldn't really take a bus. I was afraid of blowing up.
Right.
And now it doesn't really happen. So the wall did help.
If there's a state of Palestine, it makes sense. But if you're in one state, all that's going to happen is like everybody is trying to bring as many people there as possible. And like by the time there frankly are a lot of Palestinians, right, in the area.
So, okay, so they're saying a two-state solution is a liberal Zionist talking point. A two-state solution is a liberal Zionist talking point. Most of the leftists that I know want a two-state solution. Most of the leftists, most of the socialists, most of the fucking Marxists and all of those people, most of them want a two-state solution. So I don't know what the fuck this is, where all of a sudden this became a liberal Zionist talking point. This is something that I think that like most people would want. I think most people are in favor of a two-state solution. To call that a liberal Zionist talking point, this is so fucking retarded, bro. These people, I don't get them.
And once the Palestinians outnumber the Jews, basically anything is fair game for the Jews. Anything.
So in this response, Hasan calls out Ethan for, quote, crying like a bitch in their last conversation on Palestine.
You can talk to me in person, big dog. You got my phone number. We can have a conversation on your stream. We can have a conversation on my stream. Last time, I had the baby gloves on, and you cried like a after doing Teddy Fresh ads in the midst of our genocide coverage.
He didn't have baby gloves on. What a fucking loser, dude. He didn't have baby gloves on. He was just being a fucking douchebag the whole time. Like, he didn't understand half of what it was that Ethan was saying. And he was arguing against the straw man of everything that Ethan was saying the entire time. Like, it was actually wild, because Ethan, like, most of what Ethan was saying was that, hey, like, you kind of allow your community to talk a lot of shit about me. And it's not just like random people, random chatters, but even like mods and producers and people who are like higher up in your ranks are people who are like openly attacking me and using your platform to attack me over and over. And it's not that like I need you to ban all of these people, but it would be cool if you could at least like just say something about it and like talk about it. And Hasan says, dude, I say all the time that anti-Semitism is bad. I say that all the time. Guys, have I not said this a bunch? Have I not said a bunch that anti-Semitism is bad? See, I say anti-Semitism is bad, so I don't know why you're acting like I'm always allowing people to be anti-Semitic. I tell them anti-Semitism is bad. So I can't believe you think that that's like, Nick Fuentes literally says the same exact thing. Nick Fuentes literally says the same exact thing, that anti-Semitism is bad. It's bad, guys. It's bad. But that's because they think that everything that they do just isn't anti-Semitic. That like everything that's anti-Semitic, they're like, oh no, wait, that's not anti-Semitism. No. This is all the time. So you're not gonna convince anybody when you don't even know what anti-Semitism is that you're against anti-Semitism or you actually think it's bad. But the funny thing is that after Ethan is complaining about the anti-Semitism in Hasan's chat and the way that people are coming after him, the interesting thing is that afterwards, Hasan complains about the fact that Ethan let people talk shit about him in his chat. And this is one of the big like excuses that Hasan uses. He was like, bro, it's just like it's impossible to keep up with. There's like too much going on. Like it's just kind of the way it goes. Like you have to let people dissent and disagree and say shit that like you don't really like, and it's just too much to really keep up with. But then Ethan also had people in his chat. This is after they're like already kind of broken up and not really friends anymore. Now that Hasan gets upset about the fact that people said mean things about him in Ethan's chat. Two-state is not possible. It's I don't necessarily disagree with you, but it's way more possible than a one-state where Hamas is in charge, which is what they're talking. That is what they're talking. They're saying one state. Their argument is that Israel has to dissolve its government, dissolve its entire state, and hand everything over to Hamas. That is their argument. That is what Hasan said in that conversation. And so they're just saying they're like advocating on a two-state, on behalf of a two-state solution is a liberal Zionist talking point. But yeah, their idea is for them to literally just hand the government over to Hamas and dissolve their borders, dissolve their state, and walk away. So yeah, this is this is fucking insane.
Ethan sees this as an opportunity to dunk on Hasan for being some sort of toxic masculinity frat bro.
So Hasan says, last time, which was our last conversation on his stream, I had the baby gloves on, which was part of, I was like, dude, why are you patronizing me? And he goes, and then you cried like a bitch. Once again, this dude is against toxic masculinity. Apparently, he's a role model for leftist values. The frat bro veneer it's...
And now they're going to show a bunch of clips of him talking about Denims, where, again, this is very different. Like, when like, this was a friend, like, and a man, like, talking to him about, like, his feelings about the way that his community was treating him and about, like, how hostile they were, how racist they were towards him. And he's coming to a friend about this thing. And then he makes fun of him for crying and being vulnerable with him. Whereas in the other case, you're going to show him calling Denims a bitch over and over, where he perceives it as somebody who is denying the rapes of people. I believe that he was wrong in this case, so I don't... I am not going to, like, defend him on the point that he was making, but I am going to defend him on the fact that this is not the same thing. When, like, what it is that you're attacking the other person for is, like, if he was right, we wouldn't call this toxic masculinity just for calling somebody a bitch.
It's rearing its head. I'm telling you, this whole left-wing illusion is falling to the wayside. You say it cried like a bitch.
And only 2 days after the fact, Ethan went on a misogynistic rant about Denims, where he called her a disgusting bitch several times. Of course, while his crew was dead silent.
And yes, she is somebody that laughs in the face of other rape victims and immediately calls them liars. That's a bitch of a person.
There are reports of Palestinian women in captivity talking about that experience.
Let's see. I found one of the sources. One of the ones that you quoted was like, I don't even know what the this is. Care.com. It's literally just like a little blurb. That's a huge claim. 15 Palestinian women were... What? I don't know what this is. What is this? Is this a source?
You're asking if it's credible.
Yeah. Yes, Care is credible. I think, at least.
What is
Care is
There's no source. She is earning the coveted distinction of being a f***ing bitch. Congratulations. Enjoy the distinction. I've come here and I have made the distinction. I have decreed, let it be known, that Denims is a dumb f***ing bitch. She deserved that. What she was doing, I'm standing by every syllable of that, okay? What she did was abhorrent. And by the way...
Oh, and I got another shout out in this video. Thanks for keeping the Comrade Casey spirit alive.
You spent the next year constantly ripping into, suspiciously, a lot of, not myself, but other people of color. I'm not calling myself a person of color. I know it's going to get clipped out of context here as well, and then you're going to be like, meh, 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 whatever. No, just noticing that you have just been going after a lot of...
This guy is really throwing spaghetti at the wall. He's accused me of being racist. And that, to me, is like, my eyes rolled all the way in the back of my head if I had a seizure. Going after brown people, I'm assuming he's talking about people like Frogan and others who, by the way, I have never attacked unprovoked. Every single time I've talked about Frogan was a direct response to her. Every time. So what, she's brown? That's your takeaway? Is that because she's brown? That's the only reason I care that she's making fun of October 7th victims? That she's brown? That's for real? Are you being serious right now? Are you actually being serious right now? You're actually making this point right now. Okay, exactly. This is the brown people he's talking about. Yeah, Casey, Comrade Casey, who's waiting for a hot, bodacious hijabi babe in the park.
Man.
Oh, God, I forgot about that.
Let's not forget about that.
Oh,
That's
man.
what woke leftist non-toxic masculinity looks like.
So this is the part of the video that I love so much. Because Ethan did basically zero research for his big content nuke that took 2 months, he makes a fool of himself twice with this one clip. First, it's on H3 Show 105.
Wait, did I miss the reason that he was playing that? Wait, what happened there? Did I miss it? Did I miss the gotcha? What was the point of that? He just showed him making fun of people for being fucking cringe, and then that's it? That was the end of it? What did I miss? What the fuck did I just miss? Did nothing happen? Is that it? He just showed him saying like, "Oh, I'm not allowed to say anything just because she's brown." That's it, and then nothing. There's no argument. There's no response to this.
5, where Ethan reacts to a compilation of Hasan calling Jewish supremacists inbred.
Palestinians will not get a separate state. What are you like? Are you like excited about like, you know, the Trump state where he turns the whole like all of Palestine into a fucking, you know, the new Las Vegas or some shit? Is that your dream for Hamas or for Gaza? Is that the Trump's going to take over and turn it into a great party city or something where everybody's out on the beaches all the time? All the hot babes are coming over from Dubai. Is that what you think?
Douchebags in the background.
Like these are just dudes standing back there.
Entirely
like,
comprised of messy.
And this is an ongoing like joke with this community. These are just benign dudes. Just I don't know what the they're doing. It looks like they're doing charity or something. It looks like they've got water or boxes or something, like they're helping. And he's going, "Oh, look at these f***s." It's like, bro, who are you? Who are you? Like,
Hey, I've used this music before. I used this in my Joe Biden, Hunter Biden documentary.
how dare you?
Yeah, so Ethan just straight up admits that he used footage as evidence in his content nuke without even understanding the context of the clip itself. It's almost like he didn't clip this himself from the original source, but instead found the clip online, probably on one specific subreddit. In this clip, Hasan is watching a group of Jewish supremacist Nazis basically blocking aid trucks from entering Gaza and stealing and destroying the aid inside. They're not doing charity like Ethan thinks they are.
This comes just days after Israeli settlers blocked aid trucks headed to Gaza through the occupied West Bank from Jordan. Footage of the incident shows settlers raiding the aid trucks, throwing food into the road and setting fire to vehicles at the Tarkumia checkpoint near Hebron in the occupied West Bank. Palestinian truck drivers say they fear for their lives after the attack.
I hate Trump. Okay, yeah, I was just asking. I wasn't sure if that's what, because yeah, there's a lot of people currently who were talking about the fact that like, yeah, well, Palestinians don't get to go back, and we're like, wait, why? They're like, cuz Trump's turning it into a tourist place. Like, what the fuck? Why would you think that that's a good thing? Like, what is wrong with you, dude?
The checkpoint, and after the check, we were surprised to see settlers on the roundabout of the checkpoint. They damaged the cars, they tore the tires off the trucks, they threw the contents of the truck on the ground. We gathered some of the products and sent some of those products onto a bulldozer and sent them to the sheep farms.
Yeah, this
Around
is a big L for Ethan.
Their hull was damaged, windows of the trucks were broken, some drivers were beaten, some of the products were thrown away, and the whole loss for Hebron is around $2 million.
And then on H3 Show 107,
It's not great for Ethan to use this picture and say they're doing charity. Yeah, this is a big L for Ethan. This is not a good one. This is this is another L for him. Because yeah, we went over the other day. So that's Denims in the middle. And Denims the other day did a video kind of like debunking a lot of the stuff that Ethan had said in his content nuke and in his in some of his statements afterwards. And yeah, he definitely took some L's in these. This was not good for him.
7, Ethan reacts to Hasan watching this clip, but once again takes it out of context and makes himself look like a fool all over again.
And at a certain point, people are going to be like, you're using these sorts of clips out of context?
Bro, he is so pathetic. First of all, he hasn't watched the video. And this is like one of his main go-tos for any criticism. It's always like out of context, out of context, out of context. He hasn't watched the video. What's out of context, bro? Your reaction is out of context. You got no context.
Notice how you move the needle, you move the goalpost. I said that it's out of context. You demanded I describe to you what the context is, and you immediately moved on, and you're like, well, that's not the major point of the.
But you didn't.
What is he talking about?
Apparently, a chatter is calling him out like, he says, how do you know the context? You haven't watched the video. I'm assuming was it. But then he goes, oh, really? Well, you moved the goalpost. It's like, but you didn't answer. You didn't tell him what the context is. So. There was no kick. When you move the goalpost, you're moving it further from the kick. There's no kick.
At a certain point, you have to understand, like, okay, well, if this is incorrect, do you like being incorrect?
Can anybody tell me what the he's talking about? He hasn't watched it. He hasn't cited anything that's out of context. He's talking about, oh, you're incorrect and you like. What is he talking about? How do people watch him? He literally will talk and drone on about nothing. he just regurgitates words. It's just word vomit.
Like, what are you talking about? You're making it seem like this is a formative.
I don't know why this keeps doing it. I keep unmuting, and then I see it's unmuted, and then I look away, and it's muted again. I say everybody should just be like doing the same thing to him. It's just saying that he's just doing Hamas propaganda, just over and over. Anytime he says something, this is Hamas propaganda, dude. I can't believe he's doing this far left Hamas propaganda. If everything that like anybody says about two-state solutions or something like that is just, liberal Zionist propaganda or liberal Zionist talking points, then yeah, just do the same thing. Just over and over. He's doing Hamas propaganda, bro. I can't believe Hasan is pushing that far left Hamas propaganda again. This is ridiculous. How could he? Hamas propaganda.
Work. It's very clear what the intention of the video is.
Dude, you haven't seen it.
And also, notice how you move the needle, you move the goalpost. I said that it's out of context. You demanded I describe to you what the context is, and you immediately moved on, and you're like, well, that's not the major point of the video.
You didn't do the context thing. You didn't explain
At a certain point.
You didn't do the context thing.
At a certain point, you
gotta do the context thing.
Okay, well, if this is incorrect, do you like being incorrect? I guess you do.
How do you know they're incorrect? He's not. What is he saying?
If you missed it, here's the part of the video Ethan very conveniently skips over.
Chatter was asking for how certain things are clipped out of context. Here, this is a great example. Douchebags in the background,
These are just dudes standing back there.
Entirely comprised of messy.
And this is an ongoing joke with this community. These are just benign dudes. Just I don't know what the fuck they're doing. It looks like they're doing charity or something. It looks like they've got water or box.
They're doing charity. Remember, by the way, this is a video that he quote unquote researched for months.
Or something like they're helping, and he's going, "Oh, look at these." It's like, bro, who are you? Who are you? Like, how dare you?
Guys, the Israeli police is investigating the attack on the Gaza aid convoy.
Israeli security forces are paid to stop this happening. They either could not or would not, but clearly did not prevent Israeli settlers attacking an aid convoy from the West Bank bound for Gaza, where, say aid agencies, hundreds of thousands of civilians face famine.
But during the unloading and loading, settlers attacked these trucks, destroying the products and burning them in a systematic act of sabotage.
A continuation of images seen yesterday.
Yeah, this was an L.
Food at the same crossing point.
This was an L.
So, does that make sense? Do you understand now? And I mean every single clip that he used, every single one, is exactly like this. Where's that one chatter who asked that question? I assume he f***ed off immediately after coming in and saying like this is he said some other stupid shit. I mean, that's clearly not the messaging of the video. If you're saying his claim is you scared him, do you have any media literacy whatsoever? Do you think I need media literacy to understand a YouTube drama slop video? Like, what are you talking about? You're making it seem like this is a formative work. It's very clear what the intention of the video is. And also, notice how you move the needle, you move the goalpost. I said that it's out of context. You demanded I describe to you what the context is, and you immediately moved on, and you're like, well, that's not the major point of the.
But you didn't.
What is he talking about?
Apparently, a chatter is calling him out. Like, he says, how do you know the context? You haven't watched the video. I'm assuming it was it. But then he goes, oh, really? Well, you moved the goalpost. It's like, but you didn't answer. You didn't tell him what the context is. So there's no kick. When you move the goalpost, you're moving it further from the kick. There's no kick.
At a certain point.
Well, not further from the kick. It's not necessarily further from the kick. It's just in another direction. So the idea is that, like, if I make an argument and I say, dude, you would first have to prove that Ethan's ever said any Zionist talking points before you can start arguing that he is getting paid to push Zionist talking points. You can't just say that he's, and so then if they start so they're like, okay, well, you know what he did do. And now they start arguing that he's like arguing George Bush talking points, right? Now they're saying like, oh, well, he was in favor of the Iraq war and that he was in favor of invading Afghanistan and blah, blah, blah. That's moving the goalposts because, yeah, if I'm trying to argue against a thing, which is initially that he is pushing Zionist talking points, and every time I make an argument against him pushing Zionist talking points, you switch to a different thing. Well, yeah, you're moving the goalpost. You're making it to where when I kick the ball and it's heading towards the goal, you move the goalpost to where now my kick misses because you're making it to where I can't score if you keep changing the argument.
At a certain point, you have to understand, like, okay, well, if this is incorrect, do you like being incorrect?
Can anybody tell me what the he's talking about? He hasn't watched it. He hasn't cited anything that's out of context. He's talking about, oh, you're incorrect and you like, what is he talking about? How do people watch him? He literally will talk and drone on about nothing.
I mean, how can you be so confident in your hallucinations that you make such a foolish error? I guess when your very progressive audience gets replaced with Destiny fans who flood your subreddit with clipped out of context.
I don't even know what.
When you move the goalpost, you're moving it further from the kick. There's no kick.
At a certain point, you have to understand, like, okay, well, this is incorrect. Do you like being incorrect?
Can anybody tell me what the he's talking about? He hasn't watched it. He hasn't cited anything that's out of context. He's talking about, oh, you're incorrect and you like, what is he talking about? How do people watch him? He literally will talk and drone on about nothing.
I mean, how can you be so confident in your hallucinations?
Yeah, I'm lost on this one as well. I don't. This is another one that I don't understand why he added that to the end.
That you make such a foolish error. I guess when your very progressive audience gets replaced with Destiny fans who flood your subreddit with clipped out of context footage, that's how it happens. Oh, but Ethan doesn't know Destiny, so that can't possibly be the case. Even though this post and this post and this post and this post were either from the Destiny subreddit or from the H3 subreddit posted by someone active on the.
Wait, but those are different claims. Like in one, they're saying he doesn't know Destiny because everybody's saying that he's a Destiny orbiter now. They keep accusing him of being a Destiny orbiter. It's a very different accusation than some of his posts came from the Destiny subreddit. And he even showed on screen that he like Googled something about, her winning because this one right here, this was a, there was a thing about Frogan being nominated for another award, and when she got nominated, he showed that he just Googled like Frogan nomination for streamer awards, and that the picture popped up, and so he just saved the picture and put it up there, and that these are like, there's a lot of things like that he's just like Googling it, and that's what pops up, but not that he's like it in I think somebody checked and he's not even a member of Destiny's subreddit, so it's just something that, like, yeah, if you Google stuff, sometimes Destiny's subreddit is going to pop up. So it's all Destiny's followers' fault. I mean, they're making the argument that Destiny has hated Hasan for a long time, and Hasan has hated Destiny for a long time. And so when the two of them have hated each other for a really long time, even while Ethan was friends with Hasan, Destiny was still like attacking both Ethan and Hasan over this shit that they would say. And then and so then afterwards, when you and Hasan break up, you start using a bunch of shit that Destiny says about Hasan on your show. Well, now their assumption is that, oh, you're just you're friends with Destiny now. You're a Destiny orbiter now. Now you're doing the Destiny thing where you just throw all these out of context accusations at Hasan and just try to attack him with a bunch of bullshit. And yeah, it doesn't seem to be like an intentional thing. It's just that, yeah, if people come into Ethan's subreddit and start posting a bunch of clips and shit about Hasan, like, yeah, he's going to use it. But you should probably, I take a lot of time, like in a lot of my documentaries, I take a lot of time if I find clips, I don't ever use the clips. Like whatever I find clips of stuff, I never use the clips. I go and find the original part that, like, where that happened, because I need the context. I need the full context. I need to know where it came from. And I put in just a lot of extra work to make sure that I never end up using like an out of context clip. And that I don't use somebody else's clip, but that I'm always going and finding the originals. And so, yeah, it seems like Ethan did not do that in a number of cases. He ended up using clips that he probably shouldn't have. But I don't, like, it wasn't, the point, I think, overall stood regardless of, like, whether or not some of the clips were right or wrong. It didn't seem like Ethan was doing it maliciously. It seems like, yeah, like, he saw the clips, he believed them, and so he used them. And maybe your criticism is that he should have, like, had higher standards for the way that he puts his clips into the videos. But that's not what their claim is, really. Their claim is that, like, he is maliciously lying about Hasan, that he's trying to slander him, that he's trying to make shit up, and that's what Destiny's doing as well. And it just doesn't seem to be the case. It works on people because North Star's audience hates Destiny. I don't know. Do you know who North Star is? I've never heard of them before. This is a minor critique, but Hila calling in and crying about an artist that refused to do business with her and talking about outing them is exactly how you ensure that other artists will refuse work. Hila hides herself so much that we're way past unkindness, Hasan. We hate you, says everything we need to know about her participation in this. Why? Why? You guys are not, like, Hasan fans and Hasan orbiters are not kind to Ethan. They are not kind to Destiny. They're all fucking horrible to those people because, yes, once they believe that those are horrible people, they feel like they're justified in treating them in horrible ways. This is the fact that, yes, you talk about people in a very negative way, not in a kind way, but in a very mean way. Once you think that they're a very bad person, that's not a weird thing. That's not wrong. Not a lot, but he's a left Destiny in H3 hater. That much I am pretty sure of. Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I get that much just from watching this. Yeah, sure.
The Destiny subreddit. I mean, just look at this chart from overlapping communities on Reddit. The blowback from the content subreddit. I mean, just look at this.
I'm sorry, but even, yeah, I would assume that, yes, if you're going to be like a left-leaning or even liberal content creator and you have a subreddit, I would assume that there's a lot of overlap. Can you show us? See, in order for this to be a point, and this is something that a lot of people also skip. So in this guy's video, if you wanted this to mean something, he would have to show as well overlap between Destiny's subreddit and Hasan's subreddit, overlap between H3 subreddit and Hasan's subreddit. Like, you would have to show some sort of like gradient between different subreddits to show that this is not the norm. Yeah, I would have to see Destiny's overlap with Hasan. Where did this come from? Where did he get this chart? So yeah, so like Destiny's biggest overlap is with Vosh, 99.23%. Like, to come to a conclusion based on overlap, when Destiny's biggest overlap is with Vosh, somebody that he hates, like somebody that does not get along with him. That's yeah, that says a lot. Then yeah, live stream fails 35%. BreadTube is 17%. You've got even Jordan Peterson is around 9%. Hasan's not even on here. And then, yeah, it says H3 Productions, 5.5%. It's 22% of Ethan's, but then when you look at the H3 Productions, it's 22.1%. Well, it's only 5% of Destiny's. So that doesn't say anything. It's such a fucking useless point. That's why I was saying you would have to show these like other comparisons in order for this to be a point that means something. Because it has 5%, bro. Come on. And then, yeah, when I search Hasan, it doesn't even show up. So, I don't know if people are like auto-banned from Hasan's community if they already follow Destiny or what, but let's see. Hasan. All right, what's the name of Hasan's? Hasan_Piker. All right, 88% with Vosh as well. Damn. 44% with Destiny. 44% with Destiny, motherfucker. 44%. Come on. 44%. What does that say about Hasan? Come on, dude. Hasan is a big, huge Destiny fan. Are you kidding me? The H3 only has 22%. Hasan has 44% of his community overlapping with Destiny. He's a huge Destiny fan, dude. How can you deny this? How can you deny this? This is a massive Destiny fan, bro. Everybody knows. You can just look at the data. Just look at the overlap. Hasan is a huge Destiny fan. How can you deny this? What is going on? 44%, bro. Come on. What are you doing? You missed this. You missed it, bro. This is why I was saying, like, yes, you would have to have the comparisons between other communities. If you don't have that, this is just a meaningless graph here. It's a meaningless graph, bro.
Overlapping communities on Reddit. The blowback from the content nuke really started to materialize in H3 show 106.
Hello, my friends. We are here. We are back. There's just way too much to talk about. Never ending, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. Thank you to Gamer Subs for sponsoring us today. Thank you to the gang. What's up, people of the world?
The content nuke clearly didn't work as intended, so Ethan begins gleefully reacting to Trump saying he's going to ethnically cleanse the Gaza Strip, all the while...
When you say a content nuke the way that he intended, I don't think that he thought that like Hasan's community would actually care. I don't think he ever thought that Hasan's community would care. I think that he was pretty sure that he had already shown like a bunch of clips and a bunch of evidence of things that Hasan had done. And if you just watch Hasan and see the way that he talks about things, you would know that, yes, like he is just like somebody that most people would consider to be pretty deplorable. But I think, yeah, everybody's well aware that his community just does not care. And I don't think he expected anything to come of this. Like he's acting like Ethan thought the guy's like whole career would be over from that video. And I don't believe that was the case.
Ethan blaming this on Hasan.
Trump has had some brilliant ideas on Gaza, once again reminding people that I voted and advocated for Kamala Harris, and Hasan did not.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years. I envision the world, people living there, the world's people. I think you'll make that.
Yep, Hasan was somebody who helped Donald Trump get elected. It's wild, dude. Says a lot about his morals, you know.
That into an unbelievable place. I think the potential in the Gaza Strip is unbelievable.
And you know he's going to call it like the Trump Strip.
Mara Gaza.
Mara Gaza. And I'll tell you who wouldn't be clearing out Gaza to build casinos. Kamala Harris.
I think it's
I can with 100% certainty say that the two candidates.
Can I get some guesses on where the hell this is going? Can I get some guesses on where the hell this is possibly going to go? How the hell is he showing this? And somehow this is supposed to be a W for Hasan? This is a horrible look for Hasan right now. Where is this going? Where is this going? Is this going to be just another thing where he just shows these clips and then moves on and doesn't say anything afterwards? And you're like, wait, what? What just happened? Why is he just showing like Ethan totally shitting on Hasan over and over and just like, and then just doesn't say anything? What the fuck is happening?
Are not the same. I did my part to stop this. I wish I could say the same for other folks. It's a shame. I want to say this right now. If you are a leftist who said, I'm abstaining from voting for Kamala. If you are a leftist who said, Kamala and Trump are the same on this issue. If you are a leftist who voted for Jill Stein, I say this, and I know you guys are shitting and pissing the bed and doing everything you can to pretend like this take is like the worst, dumbest, most outlandish, and also probably racist thing you could say. This is all in your lap, and you don't get to say shit. All these people are going to be like, Trump, I can't believe. No, you just sit down and take it, because this is all on you, and I don't give a what you say. This is what this kind of activism that Hasan and people like him, this is the outcome of their activism. It is, people need to start thinking about like, what is this level of activism we see of like extraordinarily extremist, zero nuance, straight up hateful, uncompromising, you know, what is the outcome of this level of activism? What have they done for Gaza? Literally, what have they done for Gaza? What have they done for Gaza? Serious, I'm being dead serious. They've done nothing. They are ineffective, completely worthless as advocacy goes. A total failed movement.
And then the CEO of Teddy Fresh joined in on the blowback. What up, Hila Kleiners? She posted this on her Instagram story. This artist I wanted to collaborate with decided
These people all hate Hila. They all hate Hila. They are so horrible towards Hila because she actually served in the IDF, and they've made up a bunch of shit about her, like killing babies, about her, you know, murdering babies, about her being genocidal, about her wanting to murder all of the Palestinians, about her hating brown people, about her being horrible to her employees and all sorts of shit. He's going to point out that he's using tragic events against Hasan happily. That's not a thing that Hasan or other leftists do. That's not a thing that they all do. What? Of course.
I can't be associated with because I'm Israeli. I've followed him for years, always supported him, and I have an original painting of his at my house. When we talk about how serious the rise in anti-Semitism is, this is why it's scary for us. It's now so casual to just not want to associate with an Israeli, just because I was born there. Where in this very short, polite email does it say anything about Hila being Israeli? I'm sorry, I can't be associated with this company. Thanks for the consideration. And Israel does not equal Judaism.
Hold on.
Of Teddy Fresh joined in on the blowback. What up, Hila Kleiners? She posted this on her Instagram story. This artist I wanted to collaborate with decided I can't be associated with because I'm Israeli. I've followed him for
Yeah, I don't know. It could be that they got the information from somewhere else, that it's not, that this is not the full extent of it. I'm not sure.
For years, always supported him, and I have an original painting of his at my house. When we talk about how serious the rise in anti-Semitism is, this is why it's scary for us. It's now so casual to just not want to associate with an Israeli, just because I was born there. Where in this very short, polite email does it say anything about Hila being Israeli? I'm sorry, I can't be associated with this company. Thanks for the consideration. And Israel does not equal Judaism. How long is it going to take for these people to get this out of their heads? She then decided to call into the show and whine about her experience as a marginalized Israeli.
This is the result of Hasan's type of activism, where there's zero space, forget nuance. I mean, it's like they're just all or nothing. Like, I mean, that's just not how the world works. It's just not how the world works. Should I out him?
It's not Alex Pardee, he's a saint. He's the best person.
Yeah, Alex is a sweetheart.
I don't know if is it morally okay to say who he is. Whatever you guys think, I don't care.
I mean, if I say who he is, it's probably just get a bunch of snarkers buying his art, but I don't care. People should be. I mean, listen, it's not right. What an asshole response to, like, it's almost like he's, yeah, and by the way, like, he doesn't even dignify you with the response of, like, it's like, no, you actually, I can't be associated with this company. That's it. And you guys have had a relationship. Like, he knows you.
I'm just annoyed because it's not the first one. There's another person right now that is doing the same thing to me, somebody that I'm already working with. So, I don't know. This one really got to me because I have his art at my house, and it's like, what the do I do with that? I appreciate the art. I don't want to destroy it, but I also don't want it.
And this is the result of this activism that this is the result of Hasan's activism. This is what it resounds to. Alienation, hate, racism, and zero progress for people in Gaza. Zero. I mean,
he actively didn't help make sure we don't get Trump in office. So
that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Now I hope he's happy with, like, Trump-Landia that we're going to get there. There should be a Hasan Street there, the Hasan Square.
That's a good point. Hasan Piker Way.
Yeah.
I'll advocate for that, yeah. There are so many different explanations for this, and if this person really did know Hila and have a relationship with her already, there's no way the reason is because she's Israeli. They would have known that. Did they just find out she's Israeli? It could be that he saw recent clips of her, I don't know, agreeing with Rudy Giuliani about 2-year-old Palestinians, or calling Yoav Gallant a good guy, or even older footage of her saying the apartheid.
Wait, I'm sorry. You just showed her showing out of context clips, like emails and stuff that I'm assuming that, like, she knows something about this person that she was able to post, and that, like, she was just posting the email that she was upset about, that, but there was, like, other information before that, but I have no idea. It could be that she's just making this shit up and completely lying. Who knows? But now he's making a bunch of claims where he's not showing any evidence for it whatsoever, and saying something like she agreed with Giuliani about 2-year-old Palestinians. Like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? She agreed with Giuliani about 2-year-old Palestinians. What the fuck does that even mean?
Israeli. It could be that he saw recent clips of her, I don't know, agreeing with Rudy Giuliani about 2-year-old Palestinians.
Yeah, like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Or calling Yoav Gallant a good guy, or even older footage of her saying the apartheid wall is a good idea for her safety, or I don't know, the fucking content nuke on Hasan. You yourself admit that this guy is a fan of Hasan, so he's probably very supportive of Palestine.
Wait, she called Yoav a good guy? Wasn't there claim that Hasan called Yoav a good guy?
Palestinians, or calling Yoav Gallant a good guy, or even older.
Wasn't that the same person that they accused Hasan of calling a good guy? Am I crazy? Isn't that the same person? All right, hold on.
Invented the legend of the Nazi atrocities.
I don't have an issue with that.
You explicitly said Gallant was a good guy.
Right.
Okay, that's what it was. This is where she said that Hasan said Gallant was a good guy. Okay.
Did they just find out she's Israeli? It could be that he saw recent clips of her, I don't know, agreeing with Rudy Giuliani about 2-year-old Palestinians, or calling Yoav Gallant a good guy, or even older footage.
So Denims says that Hasan says Gallant is a good guy. So I don't know. Depends on whether or not you want to take Denims' word for it, but
of her saying the apartheid wall is a good idea for her safety, or I don't know, the content nuke on Hasan? You yourself admit that this guy is a fan of Hasan, so he's probably very supportive of Palestine. Chances are this dude probably assumed you were pro-Palestine, was proved otherwise, and politely told you he no longer wants to be associated with the company. Wait, what was the entire purpose of the content nuke on Hasan in the first place?
If you ever see Hasan rubbing shoulders with anyone from mainstream media, let them know politely, with all the civility in the world, what kind of person he is when he thinks mainstream media isn't watching. Help them understand that his name should be associated with people like Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones, other fringe, radical, political commentators. Number 2, Twitch must be held accountable. Twitch has proven that it will not change by choice, and so it is our moral imperative to...
I've said the thing about Nick Fuentes for a long time. I've said for a long time that Hasan is comparable to Nick Fuentes. I've said that for a very long time.
Act that change through any reasonable...
These are all their sponsors. And listen, at a certain point, when you've pushed every button, pulled every lever, and nothing's working, when you've tried your best to give good faith feedback, and you think that something is that important to you, like... you have, in my opinion, a moral obligation, and what I see as a moral obligation, to pull whatever lever you can. And I don't give a, I am not too proud, and I am not above, you know, I don't give a shit, right? Like, if you've done something dumb enough that you can get easily by an email to the sponsors, that's something you have to reckon and deal with. I've been dealing with that my whole career, okay?
I wasn't going to say it.
No, I am. I'm not. I don't hide from it. Everybody knows that.
Right.
I've been dealing with it for my whole career, okay? And it's just, it's something you got to reckon with. It's something you got to deal with. But, like, be accountable, man. And, you know, I have become accountable for a lot of things that people always send to the sponsors. And it's something you deal with. That's just life. And I think it's insane that all these brands are associating with Twitch when it's become a safe haven for extremist politics.
We all recall YouTube's adpocalypse. It happened when...
Okay, so earlier he was saying that the reason that he made the video, he made the content nuke. He said this at the beginning. So he made the content nuke to end Hasan's career and, like, you know, take away all of his viewers. And then now he's saying that the reason that he made the content nuke is to get a bunch of these advertisers to back out from advertising on Twitch. He's saying that this is the reason that he made the content nuke. This is like one small part of the fucking video. And he's saying that this is the reason for it.
Ads were running over ISIS recruitment videos, and it caused a brand exodus. The same thing is happening now on Twitch, but instead of ISIS, it's the Houthis, Hamas, and Hezbollah. Dan Clancy's refusal to moderate extremists is the only reason for any of this. He is the sole person to blame. He had so many...
Okay, let's see. Jacinda Ardern. Mantis is saying that Hila looks like Jacinda. I guess I can see some of it. Yeah, I can see it a little bit.
YouTube's adpocalypse. It happened when ads were running over ISIS recruitment videos, and it caused a brand exodus.
Is that the New Zealand president? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I don't know.
The same thing is happening now on Twitch, but instead of ISIS, it's the Houthis, Hamas, and Hezbollah. Dan Clancy's refusal to moderate extremists is the only reason for any of this. He is the sole person to blame. He had so many opportunities to stop this.
If you look back at the adpocalypse that took place on YouTube, we all got so hard. There was years of the revenue being dog shit. I lost 90% of my ad revenue when that happened, and I didn't have sponsors at the time. That was like 100%. That was all my income was from that.
When the apocalypse was happening, were you mad at the people who pointed out that ads were on ISIS videos?
Yes.
The nuke headed for Hasan turned around, penetrated the Iron Dome, and hit the Teddy Fresh offices. I'm sorry, but that is so incredibly hilarious. Of course, Ethan then went to Instagram to write, "I'm going to answer this because I've seen Hila getting enough from scumbags on the internet. This is someone she has had an existing relationship with. They have never had an issue with any of our conversations over the years. There is no reason for the shortness of the answer, as they've been amicable and friendly until now. They're also a Hasan fan and active in online activist circles that target us. You like to hope that people can prioritize a personal relationship and see through the bullshit people say about us, but it's not always...
Yeah, that's obviously that's obviously not the same thing as like saying because I'm Israeli. That if they have an issue with a lot of your takes, it's not the same as saying that it's because you're Israeli. The problem here though is that if somebody backed out of like a deal with somebody like let's say Frogan, if Frogan had been saying a bunch of stuff about, like, you know, the fact that Israel is genocidal, Israel is doing an ethnic cleansing, Israel is this evil apartheid state that is trying to kill as many people as possible, and then somebody backs out of it. If Frogan came out and said, they backed out of a deal with me because I'm Arab, I think that, like, a lot of leftists would be like, yep, that's true. Yeah, true. That's true. They backed out because she's Arab. Like, because obviously Arabs are going to feel this sort of way. And so, yeah, obviously this makes sense. So I while I do disagree with Hila and Ethan in the way that they're painting this to say it's because I'm Israeli, I would be consistent in calling that out on both sides. Whereas, yeah, I don't know that these leftists would.
Like that. Also, don't know why some of you guys have a hard time believing this. Brad Does Music was literally canceled for taking a picture with us and forced to apologize. This has been a constant issue for Israeli artists since October 7th. Yeah, if you run defense for the IDF and say that 2-year-old Palestinians are taught to kill Americans, this should happen to you. I mean, in the same episode, only minutes earlier, Ethan called out Creators for Palestine because apparently raising $1.6 million is negligible and doesn't actually help people in Palestine. Take a wild guess as to who was one of the main organizers of that charity event.
Creators for Palestine raised $1.6 million. That's fantastic. Literally negligible.
I'm sorry, but the thing about, like, 2-year-olds being taught to kill and shit, I don't know how literal that is, but the fact that they are, like, propagandized to believe that, like, Jews are evil, and the fact that, like, there are cartoons for children about how evil Jews are, and the, like, common sayings of, like, you know, calling them pig dogs and stuff like that, it makes it to where obviously they're going to have a pretty strong hatred for that group of people. And I feel like there are things like...
Itamar Marcus, Director of Palestinian Media Watch, thanks for joining us. The other day, a 13-year-old Palestinian boy conducted a terror attack at the city of David. What was your reaction to that?
Palestinian Media Watch.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like there are, like, a ton of things with, like, children helping with, like, terrorist attacks on Israel and crap like that. It's, yeah, it's just not, it's not, like, an insane thing to say from what I understand. But maybe I'm, like, getting liberal propaganda. Handbook on children recruited and exploited by terrorists and violent extremist groups.
See billions of dollars. It's a good thing. Has $1.6 million had an outcome on anything happening?
Because, like, if you said the same thing about the other side, I think that would be fairly normal. That, like, yeah, the kids growing up within Israel are propagandized against Palestinians. They do have to serve, like, in the IDF and in some sort of military role as like a standard. Growing up in Israel, you do have, like, a lot of people who are growing up in both of these cities who are just normally taught to hate the other side and want them dead. So I don't find it all that odd that children would be engaging in this sort of way, or that they're taught to engage in this way.
In Gaza? Absolutely not. Has it helped people? Sure. Has it helped the actual, like, movement? No. Like, raise money. That's good. That's the easiest thing you can do is just give money, right? Good. Let's talk about real activism. Let's talk about enacting meaningful change. Total failures.
Like, yeah, no wonder people don't want to work with you guys. Nearly 100 of some of the most popular YouTubers and Twitch streamers were a part of that. You're just guaranteeing that you're hated across the internet at that point.
It's not real activism. Make a single difference in Gaza. He's lost his mind. It's crazy how much I used to look up to H3. They were the fathers of fair use, and now he's just sitting here crashing out for days on end because Hasan Piker won't watch his silly little class project. That $1.69 million, and I put the 9 there because it was 1.693 million, so it's pretty close to 1.7, so we'll round up. That $1.69 million helped so many individuals, and no, it absolutely did not solve the crisis. That's not what we set out to do. If we had the power to do that, we would have done that 1,000 times over, but no amount of YouTubers coming together is going to solve what's happening in Gaza. We wanted to do two things.
This is a dumb video. The guy took what Ethan said in a totally incorrect way.
Well, then let's go back and take a closer look. In this video essay, the guy says Ethan was gleefully watching Trump say he was going to take over Gaza. And then they show a guy getting mad about Ethan criticizing their advocacy. Let's see if this is an accurate portrayal.
Gaza, go into other countries. One, where exactly are you suggesting that they should go? And two, are you saying they should return after it's rebuilt? And if not, who do you envision living there?
I envision a world, people living there, the world's people. I think you'll make that into an unbelievable place. I think the potential in the Gaza Strip is unbelievable. And I think the entire world, representatives from all over the world will be there, and they'll live there. Palestinians also. Palestinians will live there. Many people will live
Some
there.
Palestinians will make it back, I'm sure.
Oh my God.
We'll try our best to keep them out, but some will make it back in. Only the rich ones. You have to be wealthy.
Ethan obviously disagrees with what Trump is saying and is making fun of him. So we'll call this one an insanely bad faith reading.
Fantastic.
But they've tried the other, and they've...
I want to say this right now. If you are a leftist who said, I'm abstaining from voting for Kamala. If you are a leftist who said, Kamala and Trump are the same on this issue. If you are a leftist who voted for Jill Stein, I say this, and I know you guys are shitting and pissing the bed and doing everything you can to pretend like this take is like the worst, dumbest, most outlandish, and also probably racist thing you could say. This is all in your fucking lap, and you don't get to say shit. All these people are going to be like, Trump, I can't believe. No, bitch. You just sit down and fucking take it, because this is all on you, and I don't give a shit what you say. Whatever fucking mental gymnastics you try to, try to jump through, whatever hoops you try to jump through. This is your mess, man. This is all you, baby. This is all you. It's all you.
Okay.
And this
can I add a caveat here?
And I will say this. This is what this kind of activism that Hasan and people like him, this is the outcome of their activism. It is, people need to start thinking about, like, what is this level of activism we see of, like, extraordinarily extremist, zero nuance, straight up hateful, uncompromising, what is the outcome of this level of activism? What have they done for Gaza? Literally, what have they done for Gaza? What have they done for Gaza? Serious, I'm being dead serious. They've fucking done nothing except bitch and shit and divide people. That's all they've done. They are ineffective, completely worthless as advocacy goes. A total failed movement. Okay, so Creators for Palestine raised $1.6 million. That's fantastic. Literally negligible. They've received billions of fucking dollars. It's a good thing. Has $1.6 million had an outcome on anything happening in Gaza? Absolutely fucking not. Has it helped people? Sure. Has it helped fucking the actual, like, movement? No. Like, raise money. That's good. That's the easiest fucking thing you can do is just give money, right? Good. Let's talk about real activism. Let's talk about enacting meaningful change.
The apathy is what really got us into this position. It's the people that didn't vote. It's like the whatever 10 million people that didn't vote that
pretending
did.
Like.
So yeah, I think we got it. Yep.
Oh wow. In the second one, they acted like Ethan criticized them for raising money when in reality, he said the people who were raising money are the same people who didn't vote for Kamala Harris and are now to blame for what Trump is doing in Gaza. Wowie wow wow wow. This is disgustingly bad faith and just lying. These people are such horrible people.
Part of that. You're just guaranteeing that you're hated across the internet at that point.
It's not real activism.
But
like crap, because Ethan, multiple people in your life haven't spoken to you because they're nervous of how you'd react in public, but privately, tons of your friends have talked to me and to others about how worried they are about you and your mental health because you've absolutely flying off the handle.
Take super seriously, Ethan. You should really take those people super serial, bro. Make sure you get on that.
And then went to Instagram to try and make amends, I guess. But he really just doubled down. Oh look, another dipshit leftist lying about me on Twitter. Anyone remember me saying this yesterday? If I thought raising money is a bad thing, why would I donate $6,500 of my own money? By the way, since you bring it up, how much did you personally give? The fact is that raising money is negligible when you are helping the ethnic cleansing candidate win. This is a concept that is so obvious and easy to understand, but somehow when faced with criticism of their surface level and ineffective activism, they turn into lying baby brain propagandists. Ethan say money bad. Either you are dumb as or just a straight up liar. Either way, You scumbag. I have zero patience for anyone participating in this pathetic hate bandwagon. I'm not really sure what he means by helping the ethnic cleansing candidate win. I mean, he himself voted for Kamala. Wasn't she the vice?
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I hate these people, dude. Oh my goodness, I fucking hate shit, dude. Oh my goodness, I fucking hate these dipshit motherfuckers. These fucking pieces of shit. Dude, they are the same. They are the same. They think that they're so much better than Trumpers, okay? I know we got a bunch of Trumpers in chat. Listen, if you ever have one of these motherfuckers talking down to you or acting like they're better than you or acting like they know more than you or they're, no, they're not. They're not better than you, okay? They even liberals do not believe that they are better than you or that they know better than you or that they understand anything. They're not. I take it back. They don't know better. They don't know better. I take it back. They are dumb fucking pieces of shit. They don't know better. They are just as dumb, even worse, even more dumb. They're probably even dumber, okay? I take it all back. I take everything I just said a minute ago back. I was wrong.